Hi there friends, it's Barb Pask. I'm going to paint another Nocturne for you today. I've really kind of fired up about this. I've been out a couple times driving around at night to get photos. My husband drove me around last night. We went out about 10 o'clock and drove all around our little town, all the back streets, and it was fun. Anyway, this is a photo that I took last night that we're going to do today. I like that the foliage is bright, and I like that, take that tape off of there. I like the foliage, the way the light catches it. I even like the little mailbox, the street light in front, and I like that it shows enough of the house. I think it explains the house pretty well. I got out of the car and walked up the sidewalk, and I was shooting this photo. And I shot one of this house, and a man came walking out of that house. And so I aimed the camera the other direction and shot up the street. And then he said, "Hello." And I said, "I'm an artist. I'm painting some nighttime scenes, and I love the way your house looks at night." And I mean, he seemed fine with it. I mean, I'm not hurting anything. My husband said you should show it to him when you're done. But, you know, it may not look enough like... For me, it's about a dramatic painting. It's about the values and the bright light, and they're dramatic. So that's what it's about for me. For him, it might not be enough information about his house to be a house commission. I was also going to show you something funny. I had a picture from my group, my One Monday group, of our Christmas party last year, and so I took the picture. And here it is, 2019, that's me. And I painted a little mask on everybody's faces, and isn't that funny? And sent it to him and said, "Are you wearing your mask?" My husband's like, "How did you do that?" I took a little tiny artist brush and painted them on because I didn't know any other way to do it. Alrighty, right. Well, let's get going. Welcome to my new subscribers. If you're new to my channel, I picked up some new subscribers lately. Again, my name is Barbara Pask, and I'll put a link to my website in the description box. I paint in water mixable oils because they're water cleanup and they're less toxic. I like them a lot. Been painting with them probably 4 or 5 years, I guess. All right, let's get this kind of sketched on. Going to go at this kind of like I did last time, using the same ideas to paint the light and everything. The good thing about this photo and the ones I've taken lately is, you know, I tried last time. I had a photo that was shot at twilight, and I painted it more like it was much darker out, darker sky. You know, I have the correct values everywhere this time, so. Just had to go out a little later. And I can't see, you know, there's a lot of lost edges in it. I can't see, you know, everything on the house. I got some other good ones too, I think. So I'm excited to, I may not bore you and do it for you over and over unless you enjoy it, but I've got some other ones too I want to do. I think, now we may have to adjust it, but I think this is approximately where the light is. Okay. Yeah, I can't even see. I can see the chimney on the house because of the shift in values, but I can't see the top edge of the roof. I can obviously see the little dormer because it's white. And the gutter is white. There's enough white detail. It caught my eye going by. Like I said, this is why I had him stop so I could hustle down there and get some photos. He drove me all over, and one time we shut the headlights off because you want to see what things look like without the headlights. I know we look suspicious probably at night running around. Well, it is weird. People running around shooting photos at night. And it's a little out of focus, which I don't think that's a bad thing. There's a tree coming in over here. I can see the stripe on the road even. It's glowing. It's amazing, how much light. This is just one of those pole lights, how much light it can cast. Very dark down in here, darkest. So I think we'll put our, I mentioned last time when I did this, he paints his sky a purple color. So he mixed up a big puddle of purple. Mine looks a bit more blue. Let's see if that light's in the right place before we make the mistake and get paint in there. Let me look at that in relation to the house. That's not bad. That's not bad. Clean all that, keep it clean. Okay, let's paint in the sky. Again, I've gone more blue. Just looking at my photo, my sky looks more blue. And we'll be painting over this sky, a couple times. And I did mention it last time, but the closer he got to his light source, he warmed it up. He put some cad red light in it, so we'll try that. If you didn't watch the last video, I was trying to do a nocturne. This is a nocturne, obviously, but I watched a video of a gentleman. It's called Nocturnes. Trying to think of his name. Carl Betsky, I think. Anyway, I liked what he did, and so trying to incorporate some of that into mine. See, and when he got closer to his light, he warmed it up, which is what we're going to do. Again, we'll be painting over all this again, so, how crucial is it? Because it's obviously a thin wash, and I wouldn't want to leave it like that. So let's switch to the trees, which are very dark green, which I'm going to make the green that I use frequently, which is ultramarine blue and Indian yellow, because it is a very dark green. We'll see how that looks. Like I said, I can't even see the top edge of this house. Just a fun time of night too. I mean, drive around when it's really dark and see what porch lights and pole lights do to objects. See, I'm thinking that should be, all these look much darker in my photo. But again, everything's going to be painted twice. It's not like it's once and done. It's this area down in here is extremely dark, right up to the porch. So I guess we'll go back to our purple. I think I'll put some transparent red oxide in it. There's a tree trunk in there that we'll be adding. It's very dark. There's some other darks. Let's get those in where I see them. I think it kind of drops down the driveway, and that's why it gets darker. Kind of goes downhill from here. I'll show you where I'm at. See how dark it is here? I think that goes downhill. But the sky, it's bluer toward the light. I warmed it up, kind of following his guidelines. But it's a little blurry. See some of the different colors in the foliage even. Can't see a lot of detail on the house. Again, look at the top of the roof. That's a completely, pretty much a lost edge. So, playing around. It's always, you know, never quite sure how things are going to go, you know. Putting a dark color in for the roof. This would be a little dormer, I guess, that sticks out. See, we'll just lose that up in the trees. And again, there's a chimney right up in here, but it's, I'll have to watch my values. Nocturnes are so interesting, I think. It's all about, they're dramatic, you know, just all about value, and it's really about value. Dark, extreme value changes. Dark, darks, light, lights. So I think they're exciting. Just trying to put them where I see them. See, I can see a little bit of the trim here, but then it gets very dark here. I can see a little, I'll just have to look for those subtle shifts in value as I do this. And the porch is nice. It's a taupey brown color, but it's glowing up in there. You know, and if I get some of this where it doesn't need to be, there's no harm, we can pull it back. That's the foliage in front. And I could go ahead and put a little bit of more yellow in it. I always say it, painting's like a puzzle. You just keep putting the pieces in. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. Actually, this tree here feels a little orange. I mean, you try to paint what you see, but you also want to make changes if it makes it more exciting. And let me go ahead and that's about where that chimney is. There's like a blue spruce in here, and it's actually pretty light. I just want to be careful with white, because once you get it on there, it's hard to go back. That's why you don't want to get it on there too early. It's kind of a weird color. Like I said, I even like the little mailbox in there. We'll go ahead and just paint this, and then we'll bring out the lights where we see them. I'll show you, hopefully I'll remember, I'll show you some of the other photos I shot last night. There's some other ones I'm definitely going to have to paint. I'm excited about. That window's catching, there's some blue light in it. Here, I'll show you some of the other ones. All right, this is this one. Let me see. That's the house next door, which I haven't cropped, but see, I could go in on that. That's interesting too. This is the same house that we're doing, a Victorian. Some of them are good and some are not. this is one I like. I probably won't be painting the building behind it's lit up red, but I love the shape of this house. And I even like the stop sign and the street sign catching light. Some of these, I'm not sure of, but that was a church that I shot, but I doubt I'll paint that. This is a street in town. That whole row of houses with the light across the street's kind of cool, isn't it? Got a few of those. I'll skip by that. Got several of those. I like this too. There's your street light. I got a few shots of that one. Another little house, but off to this side, but I could shift things around. This is neat, got the American flags in it. Wait, there's one more, I think. No, there's a couple more. Got that one. And I got see the barn? It's got garage doors, but I could change that, and the street light across the street, lighten it up. I even like the speed limit sign. So I think I got some great options. And then I shot some, these are just from last night. It's wonderful when you get a photo and you get really excited about painting it, isn't it? All right, let's get back to this. We'll try to get things blocked in. Obviously, that's what I'm doing. All right, let's move down into this area. There's I think it's a pathway, right? Kind of going across here. I think I talked about, I don't know where my notes are from last time, but some of the things that he thinks about, like if you're doing like a sidewalk here where it's by the light, that's the warmest area. As it goes away, gets a little more red, then a little more blue as it moves away, which that makes sense. I'm just really trying to get it blocked in for now. I'm looking at the color of the grass. Some of these places have some pretty intense green, like over in here, in the light. On the tops of the bushes. There's a little tree over here that's really catching some light. get the canvas covered so we can move on. The road's kind of taupey and brown colored and a bit darker. Let's thin that down a little bit. If you follow me, you know I like to tone my canvas usually, and not sure how that would work with this. Again, now we're just trying to get some color on here. We're going to have to make a lot of adjustments. You know, there's a curb. Again, this is the driveway coming out, which I don't know if that's good, if that improves it, and whether we need it, I don't know. All right, let's block in the house now. I've said this before, but I read one time that they said the thing that excites you the most in your reference or in your subject that you're going to paint, this person's suggestion was to leave it till last. Kind of like the icing on the cake, I guess. Okay, the windows in this house, surprisingly, are kind of gold taupey color. And again, they could be whatever I wanted them to be, you know. That's kind of what I see. And that color is kind of back in here too. Let's warm it up a little bit. It's catching light, obviously. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody would want to buy their house painting with this little bit of, you know, information. But maybe you love the way your house looks at night, right? I think I see an American flag in there. Again, the photo's kind of blurry, but yeah, I do. Off the porch post, see? So it'd be fun to suggest that. Shadow across there. Okay, let's get some of these lighter colors in where we see them. Spent a good part of yesterday painting my porch. We had a new concrete driveway poured, and the porch was in good shape, but it left it kind of ugly. You know how it is. You get something new and it makes something look bad. So we bought granite grip, It's a product from Home Depot, Behr. Behr makes really excellent products. And yeah, I had to etch the concrete, which was a little scary because I had to keep it off the new driveway. And I painted 2 coats of that on yesterday. It's kind of a terracotta color. Looks really good. Hopefully it holds up. Some rain coming in today. I'm hoping it, I wish it wouldn't rain on that porch already, you know. That's a porch post there. We might need to brighten that up. Might even, you know, use a palette knife for some of this. We'll see. Okay, where's the second one full? About out here. Those 2 are bright, and then the door frame is bright. I guess that's a door frame. Maybe that's a window frame. And then this one over in here you can't see too good, so I'll probably kick that back. Now, less obvious than that, there's some trim over on the side. I can see it, but it's not as bright, so. Something to be said for your photos being out of focus, you know. Can't paint what you can't see if you're trying to be impressionistic and loose. I've known people that actually have purposely put their photos out of focus. Let's do our light. That should be fun. Okay, this is the part that I took notes on. He painted the center yellow. Okay. And he went into orange. It does not have to be perfect. Okay. Then he went into crimson. Going to try to blend that. I'm wiping my brush, trying not to drag everything together. then he mixed up, which it was a little strange, I thought. He put a little green in there. Then he took white and yellow, little yellow. Laid the center in there. You know, we're gonna repaint everything around this anyway, so. All right, I'll quit playing with it and we'll just move on. Okay. Let's start back where we were again. Let's paint the sky again. Now, let me look a little harder. I told you he uses purple for his sky. My sky feels a little more blue. Let's see what would happen if we mix the tiniest white in it. You know, and I'm using oil, so it's going to intermix with what I've got underneath. Never quite sure how this looks to you. As you can see, I've got white in there. I'm trying to bring it up. And then we're getting warmer as we go toward the light, as I mentioned. That's a tree up in there. You know, doesn't it seem like fun? You know, I just love painting everything. Let's work on the foliage again. I'm just kind of repeating everything I did when I started. Ultramarine, Indian yellow, and some of the purple if we need it to make it darker, because the trees are really dark. Just run it right down over the roof. Want it to be soft. I don't want it to be This tree here, if you remember, we put a little orange in it and warmed it up. No, I'm not going as dark with that. This tree over here is very bright. I feel like I missed this tree the first time around. I don't even know if I got him. Not sure. And like I said, this is very dark. Zoom in on this. Can't really see much on the house. The front of the roof is a little warmer. Which that would make sense, right? Catching a little more of that light. The angle on the bottom of this, it seems to go downhill a little bit. Okay. I feel like some of these darks under the porch should be a little darker. This is all just very dark back in here. Digging around for something here. Okay. Let me bring this down. Here's my light post. Right in here is a tree trunk for this foliage here. So we'll work on that. And obviously that's our light. Okay. tree trunk shows up pretty good. It's catching quite a bit of light. That's not showing up at all, is it? Yeah, I don't want it to be real obvious. I don't want it to overpower the light, but I can. Again, that tree's kind of warm. And these up here, they just stay dark, so we're not gonna put any detail in them, because I don't see any. Okay, let's look at that chimney. It's okay. Looks to be a red chimney. Pretty dark in value. You know, I can see it in the photo, but not really well. And let's see where it is in relation to the dormer. Starts about here, comes up into the sky. And then next to it would be darker. Where is it? Turns away from the light. Yeah, because it's not really glowing. It's there, but the values, you know, and maybe it would look better if it showed up a little more. I mean, I'm the artist, I can decide. I watched a video last night, one of Streamline's video demos. I'm trying to think of her name. I like her work a lot. She does a lot of old houses, which appeal to me. But she's very big on just loosely interpreting what you're looking at, because I was watching her sketch the house, the photo from the photo, and it was so different. Which bugged me a little, which is silly, but her drawing was very different. But I guess it didn't matter to her. Her painting, though, was wonderful. All right, so if this goes downhill, then this would go down. Everything would follow that same line. Verticals, however, though, are always vertical, unless it's some warped old house that's fallen down. Something to watch for. Water is always self-leveling. So sometimes you'll paint a scene and the water will follow the bank and it doesn't look level then in your painting, and it has to be level. Still not in love with the light yet. I feel like it's, you know, the circles around it are definitely too paint some purple back around it. You know, I don't like what I'm seeing there exactly, so. There's just a little bit of a brighter blue at the top of that, whatever that is. I'm thinking the door is over there, but I'm not real sure. Okay, let's try to get the color of this pine tree. It's a gray green, but it's lighter than so I made a green and then I grayed it with some red. It's like a spruce. You can't see much over here in this dark area. I can see some kind of detail in the house right there. Can't really tell. A little bit of light areas there. There's a tiny little dark thing on the house, which is probably a mailbox, maybe. Again, when I zoom in on this, I really can't see much, so, which is fine. Let's paint that post in. It's fairly dark, except closer to the light. Much lighter, so. The bottom of it is about out in here. And it's got some detail. You know, I do see some lines running. It's like everything, the longer you look at it, the more you see. And I do see some, which you probably noticed and I didn't. There is a telephone pole here, which I hadn't made a decision about putting it in, but I might, because see the wires glowing? So we might put it in. Put a little more blue toward the top of that. That's kind of what it looks like to me. And maybe we'll do this telephone pole. I hadn't decided, but I'm thinking, again, if I'm going to put some wires in, and the top of the telephone pole is darker. Starts about up in there. It comes down, let's see where it ends. Something that's kind of interesting on it is it has an area on it that's catching the light too. And I don't know if that will be a good thing or a bad thing, but it's kind of glowing too from the light. Darker at the bottom. I think we're done with most of this through here. I'm going to consider, why wouldn't this catch a little light? You know? See, the first wire comes across. Right about in there. Looks like about 3 wires. Bottom wire is glowing. And one little area here. Maybe. You know, and I can always take this stuff out. I don't think it adds to it. I'm not sure. You know, my original intention was not to put that in. You know, am I liking it? I'm not sure I am. You know, and if I don't have the wires, do I need the telephone pole? Maybe just a couple of them like that, we'll see. Things come and go. All right, let's look at that American flag we were talking about. And again, it, you know, everything's out of focus here, so we want to keep it dark. Normally I would just go right into CAD red light and paint my stripes. See if I can zoom in. Boy, I can't see anything when I zoom in. It looks like, you know, it's kind of folded down like that. And then the white would have to be pretty subdued too. One of the little details you probably have to look to see, you know, it doesn't jump out at you. And actually, as I look at it now, it's a much bigger flag than I've got it. More up into there. I should repaint this foreground before I start. I was thinking about throwing that mailbox in, but let me get some more paint on this foreground. How are we doing on time? Hour and 4 minutes. Suggesting something over there. Okay. This is a driveway, and it is a warmer, lighter color here as it comes out toward the road. Okay, and then there's a curb, and that is lighter on the top. A little darker as it goes over the and I may be picking around with stuff that I don't even, that may not be important, and it may not stay there, We'll see. We'll get rid of it over here on the edge. I think a little bit of it's good, but I don't know if we need it all. Okay, and the road again is kind of a brown color. There's, we're trying to get that in. Let me see. There's some light reflections in it too. Okay, now here by the light, a couple stripes of kind of reflected light from the light post, and there's a yellow stripe in the road. Not real intensely yellow. Let's see. Kind of just runs across the corner down here. I start off kind of painting what I see, and then I decide, do I need it or not? Maybe. Around a little bit. I don't think this tree trunk stands out enough. Often I will take a palette knife and paint a flag, just do impressionistically. Right, let's think about maybe brighten up a little bit of the foliage. I don't know that stripe really adds anything, but I do like the warmth in the road, so we'll think about that. Actually, I'm feeling like the corner should be darker. So what do we think? Get a little darker here where it's away from the... Okay, I want to stand up and show it to you. I'm sure there's some other things that will need some work. I like a lot of it though. Here, let me get up and show you. Zoom in. It's supposed to be dramatic, feel like a nighttime scene. I'll crank you down here and let you see my reference again too. So I tried to paint pretty much what I see, though I don't have to. I mean, that's my inspiration, and it can be whatever I want it to be, but not too bad, I think. I like a lot of things about it. I may tweak it a tiny bit. Anyway, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll leave my website in the link description below. I'm all over the place. I'm on Facebook, Barbara Pask Fine Art, and I'm on Instagram. And again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it so much. All right, watch for me next time. Hit that bell. Bye-bye.